Hi everyone, my name is Elaine and I have been asked by a friend in Instagram, Kirsten CCC. Thank you so much for your question. She's asked, how can I draw a male figure using my style? And I always say, learn the rules so you could break them, and that's why stylized figure works so well. And I have to take into account your style first of all, not necessarily the other way around. We'll learn the proportions later. But if I'm looking at I'm looking at one of your pieces right now, and I can see that you've overextended the legs. They're exaggerated. The figures are extra long. The torso is very small, and the face is kept very simple, but it stands on a very exaggerated neck. So, with that in mind, let's get to proportions. Now, the male proportions, and I will be posting this in my blog, elainebiz.blogspot. The male proportions are obviously much different than female. Now, I'm doing a 9-head measurement. I know that sculptors will make 9.5 heads, and everybody has their own way of doing it. This is my way of doing it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. It's just that it's proportionate to however many heads I want. And most people draw female figures at 9 heads. I draw them at 8 because I draw my men at 9. So, with that said, let's start with the head. You're going to draw your figures at 9 heads, so make sure that you have that set up like that. On the second head, you're gonna draw the trapezoid, and the trapezoid muscle is what is going to give birth to the shoulders here. So the neck doesn't really stick out much. On the third head, about a quarter of the way in, you're gonna have your pecs, and at the end of that, you're going to start your elbows. Once again, about a quarter of the way in, you're going to have the waistline, and a little bit after that will be your hips. On the next square, on the next head, I should say, you're going to have the wrist. Can't think of it. And right around this area, you're also going to have the groin. And you just have to take in consideration, whenever the wrists start, the groin is going to start as well. So the hands are going to end just a little bit below that 5th box, and on the 6th box is all going to be thighs. Somewhere, I would say a quarter of the way into the 7th head, you're going to have your knees. Then on the 8th box, all shin and calves. So if you're going to draw those muscles in, I kind of drew them in a little bit here. And on the 9th, you're going to divide this, I would say about half, especially if you're in the frontal view. You're going to divide this in about half, and then you're going to start your feet. And notice it's really a frontal view, like you can see him horizontally. So just keep that in mind. And I just very quickly did a sketch on how I think it would look like, a male figure would look like if you draw it in your style. And as you can see, the neck is not as long as you would normally do it. So, keep that in mind. You can make them extra long, and you can exaggerate anything you want. So if I look at here, your head is extra small. So I decided to do the same thing to him. I made it extra small. I exaggerated the shoulders because that is a really masculine feature, having the shoulders be extra bigger. Also, excuse me. Also, if you notice, there's one arm that's longer than the other one. If you can imagine this arm being in mid-swing, that's why it looks that way. I also made the waistline a little lower, because if you make it a little higher or exaggerate the height, you might end up aging the figure. So just keep that in mind. I made the legs extra long. I didn't make any real attempt to show where the knee is, just because it's just made it extra long. And there's the feet. So I hope that this was of help to you and help for anyone who is trying to do male-female proportions. Also, if you have any other questions, please post them on the comments below. I would also appreciate if you like, comment, subscribe to my channel. That would also show me what kind of content you really like or don't like, and I can put more of it. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next video. Bye!